We're here at the gorgeous San Pedro High School John M. and Muriel Olguin campus, opening day 2025 on Wednesday, February 19th, the 9th all-time meeting between San Pedro and visiting Port of Los Angeles High School. San Pedro won last year's matchup 5-1 due to large part to their star sophomore pitcher, All-Marine League Caroline Baker, as she goes up against Pola's former All-City selection, now a senior, Isabella Cardona, who will be playing second base. First pitch of the season, ball one. All right, Isabella Cardona facing a 1-1 count. First batter of the year. Hits a ground ball to second base. Actually, the first baseman, Jalen Osuna, a new player for San Pedro, strolling over to first for out number one to start off the 2025 season. Full count here, 3 balls and 2 strikes for Brianna Alleman of Port of Los Angeles. Here's the next pitch from Caroline Baker. Swung on and missed, and that is Caroline Baker's first strikeout of 2025, and we are 2 down here in the top of the first. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rochelle Watkins. Let's see if Caroline Baker can retire the side in order, as she does with her second strikeout of the top of the first, and that takes care of Pola. No score there in San Pedro. Coming up to the plate next. Leading off for San Pedro to start the bottom of the first inning is the University of Paul Siney senior, 3-time All-Marine League Katie Borges, who takes strike one on the first pitch from Port of LA starting pitcher, Jenny Vargas. Count is still 1-2 to Katie Borges. Here's Vargas' next pitch. This one's ripped to left field, over the head of the left fielder, and Katie Borges got herself a stand-up double for San Pedro's first hit of 2025. That one was too hot to handle for Sam Cordova on left. All right, the count is 0-1 to Dahlia Davila, San Pedro's second hitter at the plate. Katie Borges already on second after a leadoff double. Vargas' next pitch is popped up to shallow center, and this one's caught by Brianna Alleman for out number one. The count is 2 balls, no strikes to Brie Rodella, with Katie Borges still on second. This one's ripped to deep center this time. Alleman makes the catch, and tagging and sliding safely in the third is Katie Borges. Now there are 2 outs at the bottom of the first. The 1-2 pitch from Jenny Vargas to San Pedro's 4th batter in the inning, Brea Ventura. She strikes out on a high rise ball, and at the end of 1 inning, Port of LA nothing, San Pedro nothing. From being down 0-2 in the count to a full count for Port of LA's leadoff hitter, Sam Cordova. Here's the payoff pitch from San Pedro's Caroline Baker. Called strike 3, and down goes Cordova. And for Caroline Baker, that's 3 strikeouts in succession. 1 out in the top of the second. All right, Sam Russell's facing an 0-2 count. 1 out top of the second as Caroline Baker is looking to go for her 4th consecutive K. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Russell goes down on 3 pitches. We got a pitcher versus pitcher battle. No balls and 2 strikes to Jenny Vargas. As San Pedro's Caroline Baker has struck out 4 polar bears in a row, looking to make it 5 in a row, and striking out the side here in the top of the second. Survey said, called strike 3 and another 3-pitch K. This is Caroline Baker. Let her cook. Going to the bottom of the second, no score. We're at 2 balls and 2 strikes to San Pedro's leadoff hitter and the number 5 batter in the lineup, designated player Mia Guerrero. Jenny Vargas' next pitch. Called strike 3, and down Guerrero goes. Vargas' second strikeout, 1 away. All right, no balls and 2 strikes to Jenna Ortega. Let's see if Jenny Vargas can get her 3rd straight strikeout. This one's popped up in the infield. First baseman Alyssa Setka calls for it and makes the catch. We have 2 away. 0-2 to Jalen Osuna. Her first varsity game as a Pirate. As she strikes out swinging as Jenny Vargas has now struck out 3 out of the last 4 Pedro batters she's faced. And after 2 innings, these crosstown neighbors are scoreless. hitter and right fielder for this third inning. Ruan hits number 7 in the lineup, facing 1-2 count. Caroline Baker's next pitch to her. Survey said another strikeout for Baker. That's 6 straight. 1 away. All right, 2 strikeouts could be in this inning if Caroline Baker finishes off Alyssa Sitka with the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, it's 3-2, and Port of Olguin gets their first base runner as Alyssa Sitka draws a 1-out walk. Nevia Randall has fouled off 5 straight pitches with the count 1-2 with 1 out at the top of the third inning. No score between San Pedro and Port of Los Angeles. Alyssa Sitka currently on first. Baker's next pitch. This is a line drive, dropping in the center field for a base hit. They try to get Sitka at second, but no doing, and that's the first hit of the ball game for the Polar Bears as Randall gets on and Port of Olguin has 2 on with 1 out. No balls in the strike to Isabella Cardonia, who's 0 for 1. She grounded out to first base in her first at-bat, but now she's in a situation where she's got 2 runners on base for Pola. 1 out here in the top of the third inning against Baker. This one's lined in the right field, base hit. And they're going to hold Uribe at third on a great throw by Annie Groves in right. And now the bases are full of Polar Bears. All right, the current count is still 1-2 to Brown and Alleman with the bases loaded. Next pitch from Baker. Called strike 3. Second time Brown and Alleman fans, and that's the 7th strikeout for Baker, and a big one in the case of San Pedro. We got 2 outs, bases still loaded. This could be the momentum-changing pitch of the game. Port of Olguin has 2 outs and the bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Rochelle Watkins, who struck out swinging earlier against Caroline Baker, who's looking to do it again to get out of the jam. And she does. And Port of Olguin actually ends up getting the run there because scoring is Uribe, and it's 1-0 because of the passed ball by the catcher, Brie Rodella. And the batter, Rochelle Watkins, advances to first despite the strikeout being recorded. The current count is 0-2. Let's see if Caroline Baker can finally put an end to this top of the third inning. As she does on a called strike 3, she now has 9 strikeouts. As we go to the bottom of the third, Port of Olguin with a run thanks to a passed ball with the bases loaded. It's 1-0 with San Pedro coming up next. Jenny Vargas looking to get her 4th strikeout to start the bottom of the third as Annie Gross hits a grounder to second. Isabella Cardonia fields it cleanly, and the San Pedro right fielder is retired. 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Facing an 0-2 count with 1 out in the third inning. Next pitch from Vargas is grounded too short, but past Randall. San Pedro's 2nd hit of the game, coming with 1 out. First varsity hit for Marilyn Reza. The current count is 0-2 to Katie Borges, who's fouled off the first 2 pitches. As she hits this one to center field, that'll drop for her 2nd hit of the game. And going to second is Marilyn Reza, and Borges is 2 for 2, also with a double. Davila slaps it to short. That went past the glove of Randall, and that'll be a hit for Davila, and the bases are loaded now with 1 out for San Pedro, just like Pola in the top half of this third inning. The pitch count is 0-1 to Brie Rodella. Bases loaded for San Pedro. Katie Borges on second. Marilyn Reza on third. And that first, Davila. This one's ripped into left field. That's a base hit. Coming on down to the score will be Reza and Borges as the throw to the plate was online, but Borges beat it with a great hit first slide. Advancing to second is Brie Rodella, and San Pedro now leads Port of Los Angeles for the first time, 2-1. 1-1, the count to Brandon Ventura, who's 0 for 1. Jenny Vargas' next pitch with 2 in scoring position. This one's popped up in the infield and foul ground. And Rochelle Watkins made the catch, and scoring It's Dahlia Davila. Great hits up base running, and it's 3-1 San Pedro with 2 outs now in the third. Mia Guerrero now up there with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, 0 for 1. Next pitch from Vargas. Grounded in the center for a base hit. Coming in to score will be the catcher, Guerrero. Mia Guerrero now is an RBI, and San Pedro scored 4 runs in the bottom of the third to take a 4-1 lead over Polo. Jenna Ortega 0 for 1 on the day, facing a count of 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs in the third, and San Pedro with 4 runs in the center. Next pitch from Vargas. Popped up the center field. Alman calls for it, and the inning finally ends. With a score after 3, it's now San Pedro 4, Port of Los Angeles 1. All right, current count is 2 balls and a strike with Sam Russell leading off the fourth for Paul. This one's hit, and the second baseman, Jenna Ortega, makes the catch. That's the first time. 1-2 to Jenny Vargas with 1 out in the fourth. Caroline Baker already with 9 strikeouts, looking to hit double digits with this pitch. She won't. That's going to be a base hit to right center field. This one's going all the way to the wall. Picked off by Groves, the right fielder, but it's too late. A stand-up double for Jenny Vargas, Puerto Rico's third hit off of Baker. Count was still 0-2 to Ruan after she fouled off the last pitch. Here's the next one from Baker. This one's grounded to Ortega at second. They'll look to get the sure out at first. 2 down and going to third is Vargas. After taking an outside pitch low, the count is 1-2 to Alyssa Secca, who's trying to put up a second run for Port of LA. Baker's next pitch. Into right field, base hit in front of Groves, scoring is Vargas. But did they get the out at first with Setka? The answer is no. It's an RBI single, and it's San Pedro 4, Port of Los Angeles 2. 2-1 to count to Randall as she looks to extend Puerto Rico's top of the fourth. Next pitch. This one's in the right field, another hit. Rose will throw the first 2 late. And Polo is 2 on with 2 out on that single by Randall, her second hit of the ball game. Going to second, Alyssa Secca. The current count is 0-1 to Isabella Cardona, third plate appearance. She has a hit. She's ready to get a second one on Baker. Puerto Rico cut Peters lead to 1. But here's an easy ground ball to Borges, who lost her footing, and the bases are loaded. No, they got the out. So I guess there was a tag. Either way, the inning ends. It's still 74, Port of LA 2 as the Polar Bears scored a run in here in the top of the fourth. All right, Jalen Osuna leading off the fourth inning for San Pedro bottom half. And she took a strike on the first pitch, and she pops out here to Cardona, the second baseman for Port of Los Angeles. 1 away. Eddie Groves, first-year varsity player for Pedro, facing an 0-2 count. A grounder right back to the circle. Vargas throws her out to the first baseman, Alyssa Secca, and 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 the Maryland Razor with 2 outs in the fourth. Next pitch. Hit a liner right to the third baseman, Rochelle Watkins, and that's how the fourth inning ends. With the score, San Pedro 4, Port of Los Angeles 2. Alright, the current count is no balls, 2 strikes to Brianna Alleman leading off the fifth. Port of Los Angeles is only 2 runs behind the San Pedro, 4-2. Here's the next pitch from Caroline Baker. This one is slapped to third. The throw is made. Great play by Maryland Razor. Without 1 out. After fouling the first pitch off her left ankle, it appears that Rochelle Watkins is fine. No balls in the strike. As she looks to get her first hit after going 0 for 2 her first 2 appearances against Caroline Baker. She hits an inside pitch off the glove of Ortega. That's a base hit. As she gets that hit, limping just a little bit, looks like the Polo will keep her on the bases. Current count now is 0-2 after a bunt foul by Sam Cordova. On deck for Polo is Sam Russell. Baker's next pitch is going for a 10th strikeout. There it is. I think that's Baker's 4th backwards K. We have 2 outs here in the 5th. All right, first pitch to Russell's a grounder right back to Baker, and that will end the top of the fifth inning. And she's still controlling her pitch as well. San Pedro leads 4-2. Current count is 0-2 to Katie Borges, going to go 3 for 3. And she will. She dropped in front of the center fielder, Brianna Alvin, and now she's going to test her arm. And she slides in safely with a double. She's got 2 doubles now, 3 hits, and she's already with a run scored. Timeout call. All right, the 2-2 pitch to Davila is a slapped hit to right field, over a pulled in outfield. That's easily going to bring in Katie Borges. They're going to rule it a ground rule double and an RBI. Davila's second hit. Katie Borges scores, and it's now San Pedro 5, Port of LA 2. Current count now is 0-2 to Brie Rodella, who doubled last time and is 1 for 2. Grounded to short, dropped by Randall. I think they'll give her an error as she threw to second to try to get Davila. And now Rodella on first, and we still have nobody out in the center. The 0-2 pitch to Brea Ventura is not a strike. Wait a minute. Did they call that? Ventura's not sure. Okay, now it's official. Brea Ventura did indeed strike out. We have 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Vargas' 4th strikeout for Paul. Now, in that last pitch, there was a ball called, but there's also a steal, a delayed steal for Dalio Davila. First stolen base of the year for the Pirates. And now here's another steal after the previous pitch to Guerrero was called for a strike. Taking second without a throw is Brie Rodella. The 1-2 pitch to Guerrero. Called strike 3, and she knew it. So now that's, I believe, 5 strikeouts for Vargas. Now there's 2 away and 2 in scoring position in the bottom of the 5th inning. All right, first pitch to Ortega now. This one's popped up towards shortstop Nevia Randall. The catch is made, and the side is retired. After 5, it's San Pedro 5, Port of Los Angeles 2. Now we're starting the 6th inning with San Pedro leading Port of Los Angeles 5-2. Caroline Baker, who still has 9 strikeouts, she gave up 1 unearned run out of the 2 runs she's allowed. First pitch is popped up, played on the ground, but not a play for the second baseman, Jenna Ortega. That is a single for Sam Cordova, I believe. Actually, that was Ruan, the right fielder, with the first hit for her. Cheyenne Ruan now up for Pola. The previous batter that actually got the infield hit in front of Ortega at second was Port of LA's pitcher, Jenny Vargas, who's now 1 for 3. Ruan now looking at the first pitch from Baker, swings and misses, strike 1. 0-1's the count to Ruan, who's 0 for 2. Baker's next pitch with Vargas on first. It's a sacrifice bunt try, and no play. It's actually going to be a bunt single, and the Polar Bears have something going with nobody out here in the 6th. Current count is 0-1 to Alyssa Secos, 1 for 1. She walked, and the pitch runner scored for her in the 3rd inning, and she had an RBI single in the 4th inning off of Caroline Baker. Vargas on second, Ruan on first next pitch. Grounded to short, and Borges will make the throw to third for the force out, and we have 1 out in the 6th as Vargas is retired. Now the current count is 1-1 to Nevia Randall. Next pitch from Baker. Survey said. Popped up to right. And he grows with the catch. And they got a double play, considering the runner Ruan ran too far and was doubled up. We go to the bottom of the 6th, it's still 5-2 in favor of the host Pirates. Pirates have the bottom of the order here in the bottom of the 6th. Jalen Osuna, who already has a hit today. Now he can give her 2 hits on that single to left center field. She's 2 for 3 today. All right, the next pitch on 0-2 from Jenny Vargas. Andy Groves pops it up the first baseman lists the second, gets it in foul territory. And that's the first out at the bottom of the sixth. 1-0 to Maryland Reza. Next pitch is a strike, and the catcher, Sam Russell, nearly picked off Ozuna at first. 2-2 to Reza. Next pitch from Vargas. High drive, left field, foul ball, or that would have been a homer. The count is full to Maryland Reza. Vargas' payoff pitch. Over the glove of the third baseman Watkins, and that'll be another hit for the Pirates, their second of the inning. And that sets up the top of the order. Katie Borges facing the 0-1 count. She's already doubled twice and hit a single. And now she hits one to deep center field. She won't go 4 for 4. Alleman with the catch in center. And we have 2 outs now in the bottom of the sixth. All right, Dalia Davila now up for San Pedro, currently 2 for 3 with a RBI and 2 runs scored along with a stolen base. Here's the next pitch from Vargas. Slap to right field again, but this one's caught. And that's the last out of this inning. As we go to the bottom, the 7th inning, I should say. San Pedro 5, Port of LA 2. Now the current count is 1-1 to Isabella Cardonia. Next pitch from Baker to start the 7th. This one's popped up shallow center field, and the catch will be made by Davila. So we got 1 down. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Alleman. Baker's next pitch. Ball 4, and the Polar Bears have a 7th inning runner. Only the second base on balls issued by Baker. Rochelle Watkins up for Pola. She does have a hit and 3 at-bats. It was this inning in last year's matchup at the San Pedro Softball Complex where Watkins homered off of Baker. We'll throw her first pitch to Watkins here. This one's ripped to third. This could be another double play. Nope, we got 2 out. The runner at first is safe, but Watkins is retired on the play by Maryland Reza at third. The count is 1-0 to Cordova. Baker's next pitch with 2 outs in the 7th. This one's hit the second. Ortega will field it and throw to first baseman Jalen Osuna, and this ball game is over. The final score in this crosstown matchup, the San Pedro Pirates defeat the Port of Los Angeles Polar Bears 5-2 to open off the 2025 season on a winning note. And the season opener for both teams. And in this 9th all-time meeting, San Pedro's now won 3 straight against Port of LA, who still leads the all-time series 5-4. And the records are pretty much easy to predict here. Right now, it's San Pedro 1-0 and Port of LA's 0-1. Both teams played very well today. San Pedro will next be here Friday against Redondo Union, and Port of LA's next game will be Monday, February 23rd against Banning of Wilmington, a team San Pedro will definitely see down the road in Marine League action. So as we wrap up at the San Pedro High School John M. and Muriel Olguin campus, San Pedro with the win over Port of Los Angeles to start off 2025 4-2. Caroline Baker is the winning pitcher of record, struck out 9, allowed 2 runs, one of them was unearned. The hard luck loser for Port of LA is the pitcher, Jenny Vargas, who still struck out 5, allowed 5 runs, all earned on several hits. The biggest hit today was a 2-run double by Brie Rodella that put San Pedro up 2-1. RBI hit for Alyssa Seca on Pola's end, and an RBI for Dalia Davila. And Katie Borges went 3 for 4 at the plate for San Pedro. And that will do it from here. J.K. Street signing off. Please drive home safely.